What if I told you that you could get more power and more speed in your golf swing, and that could be effortless by thinking about the path of your hands down and through? So welcome back to the Forest of Arden, where we're talking about more power and effortless power by thinking about how the hands or the grip move in the downswing. So the lesson plan today is really just to understand how the club needs to be delivered into the ball, how the grip influences that movement, and then what we can do in our practice to start trending towards some movements which will be more conducive to longer shots and more power. Just before we get into that, I'd love you to be a subscriber of the channel if you're not already. There's a clickable link in the description box below, and there's one at the end of the video if you'd rather wait for that one. So you'll notice I've got an impact bag down here on the floor. You don't need an impact bag, you can do this without, but this is just gonna help me kind of demonstrate some of the things. So the first thing we need to do really is kind of understand a little bit about how the club is delivered to the ball and how the grip plays an important role in that. So if I took my starting position to this peg that's in the ground, the line that I've got on the screen there kind of roughly is how that golf club needs to be delivered to the ball to give us some kind of functional golf shots. And we're going to pretty much try and get the golf club to deliver to the ball in that way. So let's say I'm a golfer who gets the club into this position here. Now you can see that that golf club isn't on that line. It's not exactly sort of running down that line into the ball. And what about a golfer where the club is sort of in this position here? Again, that's not on that line. Now subconsciously, we're going to try and get the club close to that delivery position. And so we're going to make some movements, or we're going to move the golf club in such a way that it kind of tries to fix the golf club if it's not in the right position. So then we start to think a little bit about how the grip is really important to that. Now, when we're swinging a golf club, we hold the grip end of the club. We hold this part here. Our hands are connected to the handle. So if we're trying to move the club head in any sort of way, we really have to move the handle to influence that. So if I was to take a golf club here, and we said that I wanted that club head to go more behind me, so more sort of in this direction, to do that, I would try and push the grip more out and away from me. If I had the golf club here and I wanted to move the club head more up and in front of me, I would move that grip more down and towards me. And you can see how that influences the club head. So we will move the grip and move the hands in order to try and move the club head into a more desirable position. So let's take a look at that golfer, those common golfers who get the golf club like this in the downswing too steep. That club head needs to move behind me more. These golfers will then try and move the grip more out in front of them. And they will generally do that through using the body, extending the body, moving the grip out, pulling the head back and up. And you can see what happens is the grip moves up and away from me and the club head moves more down behind me. So whilst I've lost a lot of my body shape, my hands have moved out away from me, the golf club has arrived in a more functional delivery position. So what would I do now to hit that golf ball? Well, I would now use my hands and arms and I would try and sort of deliver the golf club in this fashion here. So what about a golfer who has the golf club almost too flat in the downswing? Well, this grip needs to move a little bit more down and a little bit more into me to get that golf club to work more in front, so this way. So we will start to move the grip more down and into me, which kicks the club more out. So once we've got that concept fairly clear, which of those do you believe would give you more speed? A movement which kicks the club head out towards the ball, or a movement which kicks the club head down and behind me to one where we then have to change that club's direction and move it back into the golf ball this way? It's the first one where we can apply all of our speed down into the golf ball. This movement here is changing the direction of the club to get it more behind me and then trying to change it again to move it into the golf ball. So that first movement tends to give us weaker, sort of more handsy impacts where we're not really using the body. The second one tends to give us more body motion. So here's a little demonstration for you. This is going to be quite extreme, but let's say we get a golfer very steep, they use their body movement to try and fix it, the body's stalled out, they stand up and they use their hands and arms. I can hit that bag pretty hard with my hands and it might move a couple of inches. The golfer who gets that golf club a little bit flatter and has the hands moving more down and into them can use the body rotation to help and aid that movement. You can see how my body rotation causes my hands to move more in and kicks the club head out. This golfer can have more power. Can I move that bag forwards with what felt like to me more of an effortless type of swing? Let me show you that one again. So I'm just going to get the club into a flatter position. I can now use my rotation and my path of my hands, and I can roll that bag over very, very easily. I'm only using one hand there. So effectively, that's the little exercise that we would get you to do. Take a starting position. If you have got an impact bag, that's fantastic. Get yourself up, and we want the club head to be lower than the direction the hands are moving in. So you can see my hands are moving in this direction here. The club head is lower than that. What that's going to indicate to me is that I will be able to use my rotation, my pivot, and my path of my hands working more inwards to kick the club head out. So in that whole downswing, my motion is accelerating the club towards the ball, as opposed to this golfer who's trying to rectify some things and then apply some speed normally through the hands. So notice how we go up to the top, we get the club head lower. We are now able to keep that club head behind me and use my rotation and my hand path to create loads of speed through the golf ball through my rotation. So the best golfers in the world will generally have the hand path moving inwards and up, because that's kicking the club out to the ball. To help that, they're using body rotation and body pivot to deliver that club to the ball. Most of the golfers that I see who are struggling are too steep in the downswing. Therefore, they have to use a very, very different body motion and hand path to try and fix those issues, and they end up hitting the ball very much just with the hands, the arms, the wrists. They don't stabilize the club face particularly well, they don't strike the ball particularly well, and they never really feel like they're engaging their body as well as they could. So the drill I want you to do is one where we go up to the top, and you're just going to let the club head fall behind you. Notice that's not really changing my left arm position. Club falls behind me, and then I want to rotate into that bag. So we go up to the top, club falls behind me, and then we rotate in. And it's really for you, this little exercise is getting that sensation of the mass of the club, the weight of the club, which is more focused down towards the head end, of going more behind us, and then we can use our rotation to drag that club head and kick it out to the golf ball. Such a good little exercise to feel what some of these elite golfers tend to do. We know that many of the elite golfers have the center of mass or the club head shallowing a little bit in that transition, and that allows them to do so many good things down at impact. Don't get me wrong, you don't necessarily need that to play good golf, but it's great to enable you to create some more power and some more speed in your golf swing, because you're generating speed from multiple different areas: body, rotation, hand path. All of those things are accelerating the club head into the ball. So hand path is really important. Everyone's going to have one. The hands are going to move somewhere, the grip's going to move somewhere. But what they do is very much influenced by where the club is in the downswing. If we can change that, we can work towards a better hand path, better body rotation, better pivot, a faster pivot, we can give you more speed, more power, and it will feel effortless. Trust me, do this little exercise and it will feel effortless. And that's exactly what we're looking for in this little exercise and this golf swing. Hope that helps. Hope there's some information in there which you can take to one of your practice sessions. If you think you know someone who could benefit from some more power or struggles with those movements we discussed, please share this video with them. I'm sure they would appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Usual stuff is down below, comments box, like button, all that kind of stuff, and we'll hopefully see you back here again for a future video.